fancy music class. We are going to start out by finishing our Scales Are a Breeze chart. We've learned two different parts to it, and we're going to learn the third part, which really is overall it's the second part, but I'll explain that when we look at the chart. And this is, in one way at least, the easiest part. So let's take a look. Okay, so previously we learned the first line, or the first section of staff up at the top, and we called it our C major scale. We started from the low C, went all the way up to the high C, and then came back down with some eighth notes added in, which are our do days. And then at the very end of that first part, we played 3 C's, but it went low C, low C, like this. But they're all C's. That is similar to what happens in the second part. Now, I'm not talking about the part that we learned last week with the Glissandos. Those are the slides that you see on the bottom half of the chart. That we learned last week is actually a continuation of the first part. Okay? And yes, we'll review that in a minute. But I want to look at the second part. That's the lower part, the lower music staff, that is connected to the top staff. So it's the part underneath that C major scale. Can you figure out what those first 2 quarter notes are? Hopefully by now you're learning that the note with that little line through it under the staff is the low C. So we have 2 quarter note low C's. And then we jump up to a high C. And that high C is a half note, which is do, 2 beats long. Now, if you continue along that second part, you can see that that pattern is repeated over and over again, all the way through. So the entire second part is what we call an ostinato. I've used that word with you before, but you might not remember. It's just a fancy music word that means a repeating part over and over again throughout the song. So this ostinato goes C, 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 for the entire thing. While the main melody, the first part, does the whole C major scale and all of our glissandos up and down, the second part, the ostinato, is just repeating, sort of like keeping the steady beat for the first part. So let's try that. We're going to do the second part. We're going to play C, 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 over and over. But let's take a look before we actually play. Count how many times we have to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we skip down to the lower section. And look at it. There it is again in the bottom part of the lower section. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then remember from last week we do that DC, which means go back to the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this time we're done because we've reached the fine, the finish. So that's a lot. That's a lot. That's 16 times that we repeat that pattern. But let's do it. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, and go. C, 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 C. Now we've reached the repeat sign. Do it again. C, 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 C. Onto the lower part. C, 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 C. D, C to the beginning. D, C, 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 C. Last time. And we've reached the fine. All right. By itself, an ostinato can be boring, right? It's the same thing over and over again. But again, the point is it's just supposed to go along with that lead part. So now, let's go back and practice that lead, the first part, that we always use the word melody for the lead part, right? Let's practice the melody, starting on low C all the way up to the high C. This is our C major scale. We'll do the first two measures from low C to high C, just our quarter notes. 1, 2, slowly now. D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And then in that measure, remember, we come back down in eighth notes. Let's start on that high C at the beginning of that measure, and we'll continue through those last two measures of the first part. It goes do, do, day, do, day, do, day, C, C, C. Let's try that. Here we go. Do, do, day, do, day, do, day, C, C, C. And then we repeat, and we would do that whole thing again, right? Now, if there's any part of this that you need to practice a few times, please pause the video and do it. If you're like, oh man, Mr. Davidson, you're moving too fast for me, that is okay, because since it's a video, all you have to do is hit pause. Now, let's go down and look at our glissandos. The first couple are whole note glissandos, right? So those are whole notes, those 4 beats going from low C all the way up to high C. You have to drag your mallet slowly. And then you drag it from high C all the way back down to low C slowly. 4 beats. Next we have half note glissandos. That's 2 beats up, 2 beats down. And in the final measure, we have quarter note glissandos. Those are each 1 beat. So up, down, on the heartbeat. Let's try it. Glissandos, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Half notes. 1, 2, 1, 2. Quarter notes. 1, 1, 1, 1. After we finish those glissandos, of course, we would go back to the beginning, because that's what DC means, and then we'd go to the fine, the finish. All right, so let's all practice that lead part, the melody, one time together. Don't forget we repeat the first half before we ever even go to our glissandos. Here we go, from the beginning. 1, 2, here we go. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Do, do, day, do, day, do, day, do, 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 and repeat. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Do, do, day, do, day, do, day, do, do, do. Now glissandos. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 1, 1. Back to the beginning. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Do, do, day, do, day, do, day, do, do, do. And we've reached the end of the melody. All right, here we go. I am going to be your accompanying ostinato. I'm going to play the bottom part while you play the melody. All right? All you're going to hear me do is okay, just keeping a steady heartbeat for you. Try to stay with me best you can. Ready? You know what I'll do? I will sing your part and help you out with that a little bit as you play. 1, 2, here we go. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C, C, C. Repeat. Bum, 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 bum. Now glissandos. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Half notes. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 1, 1. Beginning. Bum, 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 bum. And that was the end. Did you make it with me? If not, that's okay. Go back and practice it and see if you can keep a steady beat. Whenever you practice a song and you are getting away from the steady beat because you had to slow down or you missed a note or something, that is a part that you need to stop and work on. So don't be afraid to stop the video, look at the chart, and work on the part that you need to work on, and then try it again with me, and you will have more success. Okay, for the next part, we are going to practice hearing rhythms and knowing how to write them down. Okay? Understanding how rhythms go in your brain and then being able to write them down on paper. So for this part, you need a pencil and paper. Pause the video while you go get that. I'll see you in a sec. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to use my board as my paper. If you have something like this, if you have a dry erase board and a marker that you would rather use, or a chalkboard, great. It doesn't matter. Okay, but something that you can write on easily and make your notes look nice. Okay, so I'm going to give you a rhythm, and we're going to use all kinds of rhythms that we have learned. I'll start kind of simple, but as we go, we'll add some more. And I want you to think about what rhythm I said and write the notes accurately. And for now, each of our rhythms is going to have 4 heartbeats in it. So you can keep track and make sure you have 4 heartbeats accounted for. All right, so here's the first one. Can you write this? Do, day, do, do-ta, day-ta, do. Go ahead and pause the video if you need a minute. I'm going to write mine also. Do, day, do, do-ta, day-ta, do. Okay, so you should have something that looks like that. Do, day, do, do-ta, day-ta, do. Sometimes after do-ta, day-ta, people tend to leave off that last do, but if you we're counting 4 beats, right? This is the first heartbeat, second, third, you would realize, oh, he said something after that. Do, day, do, do-ta, day-ta, do, do. Oh, it's another do at the end. Maybe that would jog your memory of the rhythm. Okay, let's try another one. Let's try something with some longer rhythms in it. How about this one? Do-ta, day-ta, do, do. Do-ta, day-ta, do, do. Again, pause the video if you need to, because I'm going to show you the answer. There it is. Do-ta, day-ta, do, do. Now, some of you might say, but Mr. Davidson, you said there had to be 4 heartbeats, and I only see 3 things. That's correct, but remember that the half note equals 2 heartbeats all by itself. So do-ta, day-ta is 1, plus another 1, plus 2. 1 plus 1 plus 2 does equal 4 heartbeats. Okay? Let's try another one. Write down this rhythm. Do. Here it is. Did you come up with just a whole note? Because that's what it was. It was one note that was 4 beats long. The other one that you might have mistaken it for, if you were thinking about it, you might have thought, oh, I thought it was only 3 beats long. And some of us, not 4th grade yet, I don't believe, that we got a chance to talk about a dotted half note, that is 3 beats long. So if you thought it was 3 beats long, then, oh, you might have thought of that note and just put a rest at the end. So that's 3 plus 1, that would equal 4 also. All right. Here is a rhythm that you probably won't remember, but if you were with me the past couple weeks, you might. This is from our song, Lost My Gold Ring. Okay, and when we did the rhythm on our recorders, it was 1 go to Kingston, Do, day, do, do. Do, day, do, do. So if you remember that chart, it had something a little bit different on it. Do, day, do, do. First of all, the beginning of it is this. Remember when we had the little flags, that's eighth notes, that's like do days. Parts of it. This is the first, this is do, and this is the day. And in the middle we have a quarter note, but it doesn't act like a quarter note that we've had before because it's after this short little note. So it's do day. This is day, and it's longer. Do day, day. And then we just had do at the end. And since those are on the heartbeat, those are just regular quarter notes. This is what do day, do looks like. Do day, do, do. Do day, do, do. Okay? Now the goal that we're really trying to get to is for me to not tell you do's and do days. So for example, if I went like this, bum, 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 bum. Could you write that rhythm? You would have to turn it into do's and do days in your head, figure out, which types of notes did he use, and then write it down. Bum, 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 bum. So the first step is, can you say it? Can you say it with do's and do days? Bum, 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 bum. Becomes do, day, do, da, day, da, do. And as soon as you can do that, I think that's the first one we did today. As soon as you can do that, let me draw it real quick. As soon as you can do that, you can write it down. Do, day, do, da, day, da, do. Bum, 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 bum. Okay? That's called deciphering the rhythms in your head. You're figuring out, it's like a secret code that you're deciphering in your head. Okay? Let's try one more like that. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. I'm gonna show you. Ready? Pause it if you need to. There it is. Ba 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 ba. Do da 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 do day do. Okay? And of course, if I just went ba, you would know that's a whole note, right? Do, because it's one that's 4 beats long. Or if I did a dotted half note, that would be 3 beats, and we could mix and match them. Next week on that, we're going to have a little quiz. So what I would recommend for you to do, this is your small little assignment for this week. Come up with your own rhythms. Say them to yourself before you write them down. Say to yourself, I want to write down, let me come up with my 4. I'm going to come up with do, da, day, da, do, day. Great. And once you have that idea in your head, you can then write it down, and you will be doing the same thing in your brain that you need, except instead of hearing the rhythm, you're creating the rhythm. But you're still hearing it in your brain and then writing it down. All right, up next we are going to learn a new song on recorder. This is called Shades of Blue. It only uses B, A, and G, and then just a couple E's at the end. And these E's are pretty easy. They're at the end of each section. Now, the reason we're mostly using B's, A's, and G's, which doesn't sound too hard, hopefully, is because we're learning a new style. And you can see we have some interesting symbols here. We have a 3 with a swoopy line over it, and that happens a bunch. And that is to symbolize that we are swinging our notes. Swinging is something they did in blues and jazz music. So let me play that beginning measure for you. It goes, instead of, it's ba da 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 That's called swinging. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. But let's look at the letter names. Forget the threes and the swoopy lines up there. Just look at where the round parts of the notes are. We start on middle line B. B. What's next? Second space A. Second line G. So we've got B, A, G. And then we go right back up. A, B. So with your recorder, put your fingers on B. Let's sing that first measure and move our fingers. Ready? We're just singing and moving our fingers. Here we go. B, A, G, A, B. Let's try that again. Ready? B, A, G, A, B. I'll play it. You repeat after me. Look at the second measure. It's the same thing, except instead of one B, we've got some swinging B's at the beginning. Now it goes B, B, A, G, A, B. B, B, A, G, A, B. I'll play it, then you play it. All right. Skip down to the third measure. It's the same as the first. B, A, G, A, B. I'll play it, then you play it. And finally, the fourth measure, it has a G, and then we go down to E. Those are two E's, but they're tied together so they become one long note. So it'll be like this. Can you tell how many beats that tied E should be? It's a quarter note plus a half note. That's 3 beats. Yep, that's 3 beats. So we go G, E. Just sort of keeping track of the heartbeat in our head. Did you notice the repeat sign, the 2 dots? Then we go back to the beginning, and we do all of that again. So let's try that. We're going to go from the beginning through the first 4 measures. Then we're going to repeat and go do it again. All right? Let's do it with singing first. Singing and moving our fingers. Ready, here we go. B, A, G, A, B. B, B, A, G, A, B. B, A, G, A, B. G, E. Repeat. B, A, G, A, B. B, B, A, G, A, B. B, A, G, A, B. G, E. All right, let's try playing it. And by the way, again, if you say, Mr. Davidson, you're going too fast, pause the video after you hear the explanation and you can practice it as much as you want. Here we go. Ready? Beginning. Ready. Play it now. Repeat. All right, now the second half of the song. We have 3 eighth notes underneath that 3 with a swoop, and that is called a triplet. We say a triplet do-da-dee. So that's going to be do-da-dee-do, rest, rest. Do-da-dee-do, rest, rest. What's the letter name of the first triplet measure? Just a B, third line B. What's the letter name of the second triplet measure? That is an A. So we go B, 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 rest, rest. A, 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 rest, rest. I'll play the B measure, and then you play it. Ready, your turn. Bop, 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 bop. Now I'll play the A measure. Rest, your turn. Bop, 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 bop. I'll play that whole line, the B measure and the A measure. Wait for me. You're going to repeat after me. Rest, rest. Rest, your turn. Bop, 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 bop. Rest, rest. Bop, 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 bop. rest, rest. And the final section of the song, the fourth line, we'll call it, or the fourth phrase, is the same as the second. It goes B, A, G, A, B, G, E. Now, you can play that as much as you would like, but what I'm going to do for you now is I'm going to put on an accompaniment for this, and you can play along with it. Now, I will warn you, there is an introduction. You have to wait a few measures, wait a few measures, while the piano plays the introduction, and then we will start. And by the way, the recording goes through the song 3 times. So once you get to the end, if you want to do it again and again, you can keep going, and it'll end after that 3rd time through the song. How did you do? That would be a fun song to practice. The recording goes a little fast, so you have to practice it slowly, maybe on your own, and then you can play along with the recording when you're practiced up and your fingers are moving up to speed. But that's what it's all about. It's a challenge. Music isn't easy, but once you start to get it, it can be a lot of fun. So give yourself a challenge, play along with Shades of Blue, get your fingers working, and again, if you don't have a recorder with you, you can certainly just sing the notes along. You can sing some blues with Shades of Blue, and practice your rhythms for next week. We'll take a little quiz, and until then, take care. Bye-bye.